Thank you for joining and welcome to the Fiscal Year 26 Underutilized Properties Program webinar. I'm Dottie Fulginetti, the UPP Program Manager for Mass Development. This brief video is intended to give a high-level overview of the program, including information about eligibility and the timeline. I'll also share what makes an application competitive and an example of a successful application. This program is intended to provide assistance for projects that will improve, rehabilitate, or redevelop blighted, abandoned, vacant, or underutilized properties to achieve the public purposes of eliminating blight, increasing housing production, supporting economic development, creating new permanent jobs, and increasing the number of commercial buildings accessible to persons with disabilities. The types of organizations that are eligible to receive funding are municipalities, which are cities and towns, municipal agencies or authorities such as redevelopment authorities, economic industrial corporations, and economic development authorities, as well as nonprofit and for-profit entities. The UPP program falls under the building category of the underutilized property rehabilitation and is broken into two categories: pre-construction and construction. Applicants should apply for one or the other, but not both on the same application. You'll see the choices in Section 2 of the full application and choose which category you'll be applying to. The maximum award for the Underutilized Properties Program is $1 million for construction and $250,000 for pre-construction. Applicants may be awarded partial funding, and we encourage applicants to break down the funding request into separate line items and back up the funding request with proposals or quotes for the work. While the UPP program does not require a match, projects that leverage other public and private investments will be more competitive. Projects scheduled to be completed within 1 year of the award and ready to begin construction within 3 months of award may be more competitive. UPP funding can only be used to fund work within the building envelope of an existing structure that is vacant or mostly vacant. Funds are not intended for site work, new construction, or full demolition. Only partial demolition if it's necessary for building rehabilitation and stabilization. The UPP funding will not reimburse any expenses incurred for work that was performed before the executed grant agreement date or was not approved in the scope of work or budget as part of the grant agreement. Funding for the Underutilized Properties Program is meant to support a municipality's efforts to bring new private development that can result in direct economic impact and benefits to the community. Redevelopment of buildings by municipalities for general public or municipal use will not be as competitive as new private development such as housing or commercial development. To qualify for consideration in the building category, the applicant must demonstrate ownership of the property or site control via a long-term 44-plus year lease. Last year, we received many applications that were ineligible for this program. I strongly suggest that applicants carefully read the program guidelines a few times. This is an incredibly competitive grant. Last year, we received 224 applications, and we made 38 grant awards. These awards were made geographically equitably across the Commonwealth. The proposed use of grant funds must be consistent with the categories of eligible uses. The applicant should convey how the use of grant funds will enhance the public purpose goals of eliminating blight, supporting economic vitality of downtowns and town centers, facilitating the production of workforce and low-income housing, and increasing the number of commercial buildings accessible to persons with disabilities. In addition to enhancing the public purposes outlined in the statute, the applicant should demonstrate the economic benefits of the funded improvements in terms of jobs and housing units enabled by the increased occupancy and the spillover benefits for the surrounding downtown community. Project timelines that can be completed within the fiscal year are preferred. Except for requests for design funding, applicants must demonstrate that the proposed improvements have been designed and permitted such that the work can start within 2 months of the grant award. Successful applicants will demonstrate their experience, or the experience of their design and construction team with similar projects. Applicants must demonstrate the financial need for the support. Attachments should include uses and sources of funding, a pro forma, and a full list of the capital stack to show the project's financial strength. Here's an example of a successful grant. The applicant was New Vision Enterprises in downtown Brockton. The project is a 3-story building with commercial on the first floor and 20 units of housing on floors 2 and 3. This grant leveraged the housing investment by activating 3,500 square feet of commercial space on the first floor. The grant funded code compliance, accessibility, and fire code safety. This was successful because it leveraged private investment to redevelop a property that was vacant for 30 years. They showed a strong demonstration of funding sources. The project was shovel ready. The developer had experience and a successful project history. The project brings new growth to the tax rolls and generates new interest in investment by surrounding properties. Let's just go over the timeline. All this information can be found on the Community One Stop for Growth website. I've put links to the important sites on the last page of this presentation. The full application and expression of interest is now open. I recommend that you submit an expression of interest because this gives us a heads up that you're applying, and if your project is not eligible based on the information you provided, you'll be notified. Applicants may now begin to work on their applications in the IGX system. However, applications will only be accepted during the submission period. Don't wait until the last minute to sign up for the IGX platform. The one-stop guidance phase is January through April, where there'll be a series of webinars and office hours for the specific programs. The full application submission period is May through June. Applicants may submit their full applications beginning May 5th, and all applications must be submitted by the full application deadline of 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, June 4th. Just a tip, don't wait to submit your application until the last minute because there'll be a lot of other people doing that and it really slows down the system. There is a PDF version of the application on the website. I recommend that applicants download that and work on your responses and gather all the documents that need to be uploaded. Then go to the IGX platform to submit. You'll cut and paste information off your PDF form and put it into the IGX platform. It's a lot faster to do it that way rather than keep going back in and out of the IGX platform. As I mentioned before, please be sure to read the guidelines to ensure that you don't miss anything and you've appropriately responded to all the questions. Review and evaluation is July through September, where we'll be reviewing and reading all the applications. And then the notice of grant decisions will be made in October. Here is a summary of some opportunities for guidance. Please visit www.mass.gov/onestop for more information on expressions of interest, one-stop and program webinars, office hours, and program office hours. And finally, I've put some important links on this slide for easy reference. Thank you for watching this webinar, and I hope it inspires you to apply. The staff at Mass Development is looking forward to reviewing your application.